Okay then, I don't normally look at pieces of hardware more than a couple of times. I tend to do an initial review and then have a second look after adding custom firmware or something like that. But we're going to have an unprecedented third look at the Anbernic RG350 just because I feel like it really. I like it that much. I've added more emulators and more games, you know, native games as opposed to ones that run on emulators. We'll look at those first. We've looked at Quake. We haven't actually looked at Arkanoid, but I've told you it works, and guess what? It's Arkanoid. I say Quake, I mean Quake 2. I've also added Chocolate Doom. I think Chocolate Doom is the engine. Basically, it's Doom. You get, you know, I don't even know what Strife is. Hexen and Heretic. I don't have the WODs. I think it has the WODs for Heretic. Anyway, you know what those are, so I'm not actually going to play them. I'm just mentioning that I've installed them. But what we are going to have a look is cannon fodder. Because, well, it's cannon fodder. I was very surprised to find this. I'm not sure. Stu, what do you know about this? Because this looks like a direct port of Amiga or Mega Drive version. Is this emulating hardware or something, like got a built-in emulator, or is it a straight port? I don't know, but it's cannon fodder, and it's it's obviously a magnificent game. It's got the full audio, you know, it's got the song at the start and everything. Yeah, can't remember the controls. Okay, now I can. 2 buttons, A to make you move and B to fire, and D-pad or the analog stick moves your thing a bit too quick for my liking, so we'll be using the D-pad. Obviously a mouse would be nicer, but I don't have a mouse hooked up. I don't know if one would work. There you go. We're not going to spend lots of time on each of these games. I'm just going to demonstrate that they exist. Yeah, so cannon fodder running natively on the RG350. I don't know how you exit this now. No, I ain't got a clue. So we'll just hit reset. Yeah. Okay. That's what we're going to look at in the games folder. Cannonball, I've referred to this one before. It's a standalone app, if you like, or single game emulator. It runs the MAME specific Japanese, and I don't remember which version, specific Japanese ROM, MAME ROM of Outrun. We'll have a look at it. It gives you various options and settings that you can modify to change the graphics and frame rate and other stuff, and I've messed around with it a little bit, and I found while it was possible to make things look maybe a little better, it hit performance quite significantly. Can you hear that sound there? That was a bit crunchy. So coin, can't remember how you, yeah, there we go. The start button. I think it probably does look and sound better than if you were playing it on actually I'm not sure if it sounds better. It's alright once it gets going, but that initial starting thing is a bit ropey, the sound. But look at the speed of it. That's just fast. Yeah, so that works very nicely. Can't remember how to exit this either. Like that. Other emulators that I have installed. A5200. I had trouble making this work initially because most emulators on here, you install the OPK file in where do you put it? You put them in Media, Data, Apps, as it is there, A5200 OPK. You put them in there, you run the thing, and it creates a load of folders and stuff. And I'm trying to remember where it puts them. Yeah, like in your home, media home. It creates the A5200 folder, and you would think, put your A5200 ROM in there, like I've done there. I did that, and it didn't work. And I did not know, I just thought, okay, this thing doesn't work. Turns out, for this emulator, you don't put it in that data folder. You don't put it in there. You put your ROM here. Right there, A5200 dot, not even A52, it's 5200.rom in the media/home folder, and then it works. It's unusual in that it does it like that, because most of them you would put it there. Other than that, it works just fine. Let's have a look at it. Load ROM. I had to go at the Donkey Kong game on it, and it ran very badly. So, but one that runs very nicely. I say it ran badly. It ran badly once. No, I don't want to. Oh, okay. We've got 2-player. We don't have a second player, so I will just have multiple personality disorder and be both people. But it runs really well, so we're not going to spend too much time on that. I should turn the lights off in here. We're getting a lot of reflection. This is where I find out that the reflection is coming in from the window, and having turned the lights off will make no difference. No, it seems all right actually. So I've also installed Coleco, whatever that says. Coleco, can't read it. Anyway, it's a ColecoVision emulator, which does exactly what you would think it does, and the best reason to have that, well, it's the game that was press button. Okay, there is a way of doing this. I can't. Okay, whatever. Yeah, this game is actually, oh god, yeah, look at me doing really badly. When the ColecoVision came out in the UK, Donkey Kong was the game that was used to sell it, because it's a really good version of Donkey Kong. It's not arcade perfect. Kong is over on the wrong side, because I think there's like, is there one less ramp? Something like that. Whatever. It was that good. So when the NES came out, and it was being sold in shops in like 1987, oh balls, being promoted with the Donkey Kong cartridge, I just looked at it and was like, you're having a laugh, you know, this, they were doing this 5 years ago or thereabouts. Why on earth would I buy this now? You know, we've moved on. So yeah, the ColecoVision Donkey Kong is actually the system that initially made me completely disinterested in the NES. And the NES version is superior, but nevertheless I think it was a marketing error to promote the NES with Donkey Kong. Anyway, come on, get up there. Yay. What else did we install? Oh yeah, Amstrad Krakow Gs. No idea why it's called that, but there we go. Harrier attack. Now, sometimes it's not altogether easy to get these things running if you've got a keyboard thingy. How do we get this going? Oh, and you can set it up with a green screen. Let's do. Oh yeah. How do we get joystick control? I know you can do it, I have done it. You can pull up a virtual keyboard to select, there we go. J, we want J. Okay, now how did I've done it and now I don't remember how I did it. God, I'm terrible. What did I do? What button did I press? Yeah, I've got, God. Enter skill not, right, I need to get it back now. God, there. I don't know what I pressed again. How do we start? Oh God, there we go. We're going. Don't know where the fire button is. There it is. Yes, I sunk your battleship. But they look more like a frigate or a corvette or something. Yay! Oh God, the thing with this game is more about holding your nerve than anything. Get yourself on target and fire, and they'll chuck a missile at you and you just go, oh God! You gotta hope that doesn't happen. Yeah, okay, anyway. How do we exit that? Don't know. Other emulators that I've installed. Pro System, yep. Which is Atari 7800. Is there anything? Yeah, we'll have a look at pole position too, because that's pretty cool. We've got a Fuji. Yeah. Up and down to change gear. Fire button to accelerate. I don't know. Yeah, the other button brakes. And it's a pretty decent version of the game. You know, given it's 8-bit hardware, it's pretty good 8-bit hardware, I reckon. I do like the 7800, or at least I would like it if PAL versions weren't completely screwed up because they've got really crappy video output. It's like if you've got a UK based Atari 7800, you really need a what is it? The mod. Is it an RGB mod? RF mod. Something like that. You need to mod it. Because the video output, you just get blocks all over. Like in this game, the blue sky is just filled with graphic artifacts that ruin it visually. And they're all, well, I don't know if they're all like it, but I've got two 7800s and they're both like it, which is really annoying. One of the few instances where I think playing it on an emulator is actually the way to go, because the hardware is crap. Certainly, it's like they put on a crap modulator, I would have to say. I don't know if that's the problem, but that's how it seems to me. Other stuff, have we looked at everything else? What else have we got? Oh no, Open MSX. Yep, I'm not a fan of the MSX, but no cartridge found. Yep, okay. I don't know. Yeah, load ROM. We'll do that. A whole load of games. I don't know most of them, but these are. It plays cartridge ROMs. You probably need to put a BIOS thingy into it to load tape files. I don't even think I've got any of those anyway. So we'll have a look at this, because I know. Okay. This comes as a cartridge. One player. It's meant to be, I think it's meant to be like one of the better MSX games. Don't really know, because I've only played a couple of them. I've got a couple of MSX computers, but I've played very few games on them. but it's obviously a pretty capable system. It didn't really get enough attention in the UK, at least back in the day. I mean, there was quite a bit of software. I remember seeing software for it. I didn't know anyone who had one at the time, but I do remember seeing the tapes like for sale in the newsagents or wherever was selling games at the time. There was certainly a point where I saw more MSX games than I saw games for my Acorn Electron, which annoyed me greatly, seeing as I knew several people with Electrons and no one with an MSX. It was like, how dare they sell games for that and not my system? But there you go, I was a petulant child. Not much has changed. Oops! Yeah, okay. So that's pretty good. I don't know how to exit. Yeah, I think that's it. I think that's everything. No, wait. There is something I want to show you. Yeah. And this makes me very, very happy. You can run this game on MAME on all the other little handhelds that you can think of, including the more expensive ones. And the problem is, it is a game in the arcade that has a very specific controller, and without that controller it's very difficult to play the game. If all you've got is a D-pad, forget it. You need sensitive analog controls. A mouse works adequately if you're playing it on a PC. But an analog controller, like a joypad controller, often doesn't offer enough sensitivity. This really isn't ideal, but it's a lot better than playing it on a D-pad. You can play it. You won't be able to play it well. The best handheld way I've found of playing it is on a mobile phone or tablet that's got gyros, so you can use tilt controls, and it actually controls quite similarly to using the yoke controller on the arcade system. But given that we don't have tilt controls on here that I'm aware of, playing with the analog stick here is not bad. It's not it's not great, but it's not terrible. I mean, look, I'm not dead yet, which if I was playing with a D-pad, I would be. I would be doing a lot better with the arcade controller, but it's kind of like you get yourself at a certain point in the horizontal or the vertical, and then yeah, there we go. And then just go side to side or up and down. Trying to get really subtle positional control is not so easy, but it works. You can play it, and I'm really pleased about that. It's like, you're never going to have a really good game, but if you're out and about and you're dying for a fix of Star Wars Arcade, it'll do for a quick blast, you know. I like it. And if anyone ever says to you, you know, what's Steve Benway's favourite arcade game, and you happen to have MAME and the full ROM set, you can say it's this and have a quick blast. I'm pleased because, I mean, Atari Star Wars Arcade and Sega Star Wars Arcade on the same handheld, both working, both playable to a certain degree. Great. That is, I don't envisage doing any more videos about the RG350. I just wanted to do this one more, mainly actually because I wanted to show this game working. But, you know, the extent and number of emulators on this little thing is impressive. I'm still surprised that they haven't got the BBC emulator on it yet. I do hope they put that on there, just to play Starship Command. That's the only thing that the LDK game has over this at the moment. You can play Starship Command on that. Yeah, I did notice today a video by Retro Rob, who is explaining how to install emulators and stuff on the RG350, so I do recommend having a look at that if you're interested in doing that kind of thing, because I've given very little in the way of instruction for that, because, well, I explained why. Yeah, I'll be moving on to other things in the next video. You know, goodness, I'm being messaged on Facebook. That never happens. Yeah, business as usual. Okay. Thank you for watching. I died. Game over, man.
Right. Hit the subscribe button or I'm getting naked on camera. Go on. Do it. Right. You asked for it. Ah! You asked for it. Ha! Ha! Oh.